Aloha kakahiaka.
Aloha,
At this
aloha.
time, I'd like to call to order the Public Land Trust Working Group. Let the record reflect that it is Thursday, January 4th, 2024, and it's 10:10 a.m. We are recording this remote meeting held by interactive conference technology. The members present in today's meeting are Sherry Broder, Don Chang, and Louis Salaveria. We also have our CEO, Stacy Ferreira, and myself. We also have on staff as Amber Kalua and Arlene Aguinaldo. The first item on our agenda is approval of meeting summaries. Amber, do we have anyone signed up to give testimony?
No, we do not.
And any discussion from the members?
I did not attend that meeting, so I'm going to abstain.
Okay,
Oh, no, I did attend that meeting.
yeah,
November 20th.
We
I
ended
attended
early.
Zoom. I attended by Zoom. I
Yeah.
apologize. I did attend that. Okay, I can participate. Thank you.
Okay.
well, if we have, do we have any discussion about the minutes?
Nope,
Or
I thought it
the
was fine.
summaries?
Mm-hmm.
If none, can I get a motion to approve the meeting summary for November 20?
So move, Chair.
Thank you. Second,
And I'll second.
thank you. Roll call.
Sherry Broder,
Yes.
Don Chang,
Aye.
Hulu Lindsay,
Aye.
Luis Salaveria.
Hello.
We have 4 yes, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna move on to the next item. I believe we have further discussions and comments regarding the State Land Information Management System, the Public Land Trust Information System, the Department of Land and Natural Resources reports to the legislature pursuant to Act 178, Session Laws of Hawaii, 2006, and the report to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs on the accuracy and completeness of a report by the Department of Land and Natural Resources to the Hawaii State Legislature on public land trust receipts for fiscal year ended June 30, 2016 by NNK CPAs Incorporated 2018. Amber, do we have anyone signed up to speak on this item?
No, we do not.
Okay, this item is open for discussion. Sherry?
I think the DLNR is going to get us some more information, so we'll wait for that discussion until we get the information. But I have just one, I wanted to make sure it was on the agenda in case anything new came up between the last meeting and this meeting. So I don't know if you know offhand, Don, if when the DLNR report on the revenues goes to the legislature,
I believe actually it has gone to the
has
legislature.
it? Because
It
I
has.
looked it up this morning and I didn't see it.
I will confirm that,
All
but
right.
I know that
All right.
I've e-signed that. And
Okay.
I believe we submitted it
All right,
because it is due 20 days
Correct.
before. So I
okay,
believe we may have filed it last week, but
All
I
right.
will
May not be
double check.
maybe
posted
it's
yet.
Yeah,
not
it's-
posted on
maybe it
your
might not,
website
right,
yet, because
so-
when you go to your website
Okay,
and you click on act, whatever
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
All
no,
right.
I will confirm.
all right,
And I'll let Amber know.
all
But
right,
my recollection is that I know I signed it and that it was sent.
all
but
right.
Again, may not have
If
been
it's
posted.
public record, you don't have to even write me an email, just send it to
Okay,
me.
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Don't worry, waste
So I'll
your time
check- I'll
talking to
check.
me.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
Yes.
So I thought we should take, just so we're knowledgeable, all of us,
Oh,
we
yeah,
should
yeah,
take
yeah.
a look at it.
No, and
Is
it was,
what's the
it's pretty
status?
relevant,
Yeah,
right?
right,
Okay, no, so I will send, I'll
okay,
let you all know and then send Amber a copy
Alright.
that she can distribute to the committee members.
all right,
Yeah, and Sherry, again, I apologize. We got your request yesterday and I was not in the office. So can you go over exactly what you wanted? Because I did send your email to my
yeah.
land division, but could you explain to me exactly what additional information you wanted?
Okay, I actually asked for this before, but that's
Oh.
okay. Yeah. But I think that what I was trying to follow up in particular, I think on the submerged lands. I'm still, I've asked
Oh.
quite a few questions about it. I'm still not really clear on,
Unless it has because most, we
Right.
don't have a TMK from many of those.
right?
But where we do have, let's say we have
Yeah,
an adjoining, a landowner
yeah,
who gets an easement because they've got a seawall.
yeah,
And the seawall extends into submerged lands.
yeah.
In those cases, there's a specific land board action that we are, we grant them an easement, but it also has to go to the legislature.
I see.
The legislature approves all of the submerged lands easements or dispositions of
Okay,
submerged lands. So
okay.
those do go to the legislature as well.
Yeah,
But there's also a land board action that makes an assessment of
yeah.
the easement fee
All right.
and the terms of the easement.
all
They're
right,
not in perpetuity, they are a term,
All
but
right.
they are based upon, in general, and I may be misspeaking, but generally fair market value
Yeah,
of the adjoining lands.
yeah.
So, but otherwise, we don't have any fish, we don't have any aquaculture using submerged lands that I'm aware of. We don't have any mining leases for submerged
Yeah.
lands. So the only, and there may be, there was, for example, there was a request, a special use permit submitted to Division of Aquatic Resources several months ago. A vessel was coming into Hawaii from, it was a British university who wanted to do some coring through coral to
Yeah,
determine impacts of climate change. Due to, as a result of our public discussion in the land board meeting, and many of the community members felt that there was an insufficient assessment of kapa'akai. So in those
Okay.
cases, that permit
All
was
right.
denied.
okay.
But those, so in the cases where there is a request to use submerged lands,
Yeah.
those will come to the land board for
I see,
disposition. But those, we don't have and as far as land division, they report all of that as part of their
Yeah.
revenue. So if they're getting
Yeah.
any revenue off of submerged lands, they do report that.
Okay.
But I thought your request to me yesterday was different from the submerged land. It was a request regarding the reports that were prepared by the consultant. You wanted, that was my recollection.
No, you sent me all of that.
Okay, but I thought you would ask.
Okay, I'll have to go
Okay,
look at what I
and I
asked
will
you
look
for.
again.
All right.
I know, no, yesterday was I apologize. It was a
But Don't
difficult
worry about
day.
it. I mean, you're gonna get back to me.
Yeah, I
So you
will,
and I
I
can
will.
talk about it
Okay,
later.
all right,
Okay.
all right, all right, all right.
All right, you know what I mean? I mean.
Yeah. So I sent
Okay,
that
but
to them.
back to the submerged lands.
okay.
Thank you very much for what you just did explain. I
okay.
think that was very helpful, but I'm
Okay.
still confused. And-
Okay,
All right, so one question is, if they get an easement,
Oh, but
do you
that's gonna
then
come
give
to
the
here.
parcel over which they're getting an
No, you
easement?
want volume.
no, they don't get a TMK.
Who's that?
Oh, somebody in,
the testimony like went on.
oh,
All right, okay.
no,
They don't get a TMK.
they don't get a
So,
TMK.
All right, then what makes it to the PLTIS? If they don't get a TMK,
Well, I
then-
think there's a meets and bound, there's a survey
Yeah, but
conducted,
does that go into the
because I don't think,
PLTIS?
we don't issue TMK numbers. I think that comes from the county as part of the county real
yeah,
property tax
okay.
assessment. So we're not assessing a property
Alright.
tax.
Uh-huh,
So, but we do identify the easement
Alright.
area.
okay,
And so it just, I will have to confirm exactly how we
Alright.
identify that, but
all
I
right,
do believe that land division does identify it.
all
And
right,
so maybe when I send the report, our
Yeah.
annual report, it may show that.
all right.
okay.
But the PLTIS, because our job is a complete and accurate inventory, right? of
But it's
them.
also, it's the revenue, so we're reporting
Right.
the revenue.
Right,
so
that's
it-
fine.
Yeah, so
Okay,
maybe.
So set the revenue aside
yeah,
because I am
yeah.
assuming that does get reported, but I don't know for sure, of course. But right now, I'm just asking about the PLTIS
Okay.
to see if we've got a complete inventory. Okay, and so I'm just wondering, it sounds like the submerged lands as a minimum do not make it into the PLTIS.
Oh, I don't know that's for sure.
Unless they're used for something.
Right,
Or they have a
right,
TMK or
right,
something like that.
right.
So maybe we could get clarification. You'll see when we get to the bill to get some funding to support
Mhm.
our work. I bring up the submerged lens as an issue, like it's not in there, which is no criticism of anybody or anything like that. I'm just trying to get a complete and accurate inventory, that's all.
Okay.
And as you know, when Trustee Trask was with us, that was one of her, big
Right,
things.
right.
So I want us to have, when we're all done, at least we can make a recommendation what we needs to be done to make complete and total
Sure.
inventory.
No, that makes sense.
So Sherry, would the recommendation be some form of methodology to determine how to accurately inventory?
All right, well,
submerged
when
lands?
we get to the bill I drafted, you can take a look at
Okay.
what I suggest that they do,
And
but I
because
don't
think that's
know.
the issue, right? I mean,
I don't
how do
know.
how do we log
Yeah.
it into the system? There's got to be
Yeah.
some kind of methodology.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
well, they hired a consultant, but of course that person got through in 2018, right? So, I mean,
So I will
this is
confirm
really
with
above
land
my pay
division.
grade, how to enter the stuff into the computer and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think that, as
Yeah.
brilliant
know-
as this group is, I don't think
Oh,
that
I-
we have the expertise to figure out how it's gonna get into the PLTIS.
Mhm,
But we're assuming it's not in the PLTIS.
All
So
right.
let me confirm,
All right,
how does DLNR land division
right,
incorporate that into PLTIS? Now, when you go into
Yeah.
That's the
PLTIS,
methodology.
there
Just
may
the
be a
methodology.
TMK of the adjoining landowner,
yeah,
which shows an easement on,
Yeah.
for submerged lands.
Yeah.
So that may be the way that they're accounting for it, because when you do a research of the TMK, you'll pick up what are
Yeah.
all the encumbrances, and there would be an easement. So it
mhm.
may
Yeah.
actually be accounted for.
all right,
So let me just confirm that with land
All right.
division, because I don't want to assume that we don't account for that.
okay, yeah,
Okay?
very good.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, just 1 second,
yes,
Sherry. A
yes,
good example is Kaka'ako Harbor.
Mhm.
Kaka'ako.
It's being
Sure.
leased to
Oh, okay,
Howard
now,
Hughes.
and
Yeah.
that is all EO'd to HHFDC, HCDA,
HCDA.
HCD, so that's all EO'd, so that's not under DLNR, so that's a little different. Like a lot of the DOT harbors, those are through an executive order.
Well, how it's distributed doesn't matter because 20% of everything is
right,
supposed to
So-
be
so
ours.
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that is,
yeah,
yeah.
that is, and you're right, so
Yeah.
that's a question that will
Yeah.
be, that HCDA should
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
Yes, but that is, so that it may be inventoried, but it may be
Mhm.
for purposes of revenue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're not sure how HCDA is accounting
Right,
for that,
right.
and that is a good question.
and that's
Well,
a big money area because
if
you
I
have all the
can,
rent.
Yeah,
From
boats
yeah.
at
that's,
least,
right.
you know,
my
purchased.
time
Yeah.
on HCDA
Yeah,
is right. It's
Right. Oh,
determined
wait,
based upon
DLNR charges.
the commercial
Which
activity of the harbor,
Yeah,
right? And
who
so
collects the rents on the?
I think HCD, well, no, I think they have
actually,
a contract.
there's
right?
a lease
Yeah,
that was given to Howard Hughes.
Howard
So
Hughes,
Howard
that's
Hughes
right.
manages, where they have revenue, and then there's a lease that is paid to HCDA
Yeah.
for that
So
property.
so that's a very interesting question. Now, whether that's considered revenue,
yeah,
what is considered revenue, right?
That
That's a different,
So-
yeah,
to the process, right? So we're determining the land,
yeah,
and then so that we know where we're gonna
Right,
start
right,
collecting.
right.
Then the next phase of that discussion is
Right.
how do we account for revenue,
yeah.
right? Revenue of which side of the
Because it
revenue,
may
the
be the
state's
revenue from the lease, not revenue from whatever they're
we don't
collecting.
accept that.
Okay,
That's
well, okay,
ridiculous.
but I think
I'm
that's what
sorry.
we need.
You don't need
HCD
to defend
explain.
them.
Well,
You-
I'm not defending, them. Rest assured, not
No,
defending
because
them.
I could, we could, I mean,
not
DLNR
defending
needs
them.
all your support.
You're
and
right.
your
Yeah, yeah. No,
attention.
I'm
Let
just,
them
yeah.
defend themselves.
So they should clarify when we send that
All right.
letter out.
Yeah, they should. So that's, but here's the problem, right? Which is DLNR you know,
We only report
what they
report.
tell
Right,
you,
that's
right? So
that's
that's why we need the audit. It's not
Mhm.
anything that DLNR's
Okay.
done or anything. It has to do with, we just don't know if different agencies are doing different things or
Right,
like
right,
that.
right.
Okay, well, here's another question. Is it possible, is there some place where DLNR, is there a manual or something that DLNR has? And they list things like I saw recently, now I'm taking great interest in DLNR and I'm reading your submittals for your meeting. But I saw that that the staff said that now they impose a minimum rental. Okay, they have a minimum rental, which is $480 a month.
For
So I
nonprofit.
don't know how, is there a way to get on that list? No, just kidding. But you know, 480, I
It's
mean,
based
where's
upon
that?
appraisal.
No,
our ru-
that one they said that the board adopted a rule
Oh,
in
yeah.
December 2005. So how does one find the rule for whatever, how they're gonna figure out for different kinds of parcels, what they're gonna charge?
We do it by statute. 171 permits us to negotiate
Yeah,
with non-eleemosynary.
right.
So there may be a floor that the land board sets. I believe 480 is now more the current value. It may have been up less before, but I
Okay,
don't know the basis. I don't know how they determine that.
all right. Well,
That was
here's,
before my time.
all right, so that rule was adopted in 2005. So I'm just bringing
It's
this
a
up. and-
policy. It's not a rule, because then we have to
pol-
do remodeling.
All right, okay. All right. All right, well,
Two
okay.
layers, 2 layers.
Okay, I'm just saying, okay, 2005.
I don't want the
that's-
public to think we're doing unauthorized rulemaking.
No. Okay, I'm just thinking, 2005 is 20 years ago, you know, so DLNR needs more money and OHA needs more money. So I'm just wondering if we can take a look at some of
But-
those,
but
rules,
some-
and this will be helpful to DLNR as
But
well
I
as
think, Sherry,
OHA.
you need to understand, part of DLNR's mission
Yeah,
isn't to generate revenue. It is, we have a mission, preserve and protect our resources, encourage
yeah,
stewardships with
Yeah.
co-partners.
Yeah.
So where we have nonprofits that are willing, and the
Yeah.
law does, for example, canoe clubs,
yeah,
we don't charge, the statute says, but so
Yeah.
our mission isn't just
right,
to generate
Making money,
revenue.
right.
It is to, you know, to protect and protect and preserve our resources.
yeah.
So but I do,
I'm not saying definitely not a good idea to only
Okay.
charge $480 a month,
I
but
know.
it's 20 years. So I'm just wondering, like, you know, how do you decide when to reevaluate how much?
No, that's a good
And,
point.
You know, just
Yeah.
in response is that, yeah, preserve and protect, but you need more money. DLNR needs more money, right? I mean, we
Well,
definitely
so-
agree on that,
You're right. You're
right?
right. You're right.
So I'm just thinking, how
Yeah.
can we both, how can OHA and DLNR benefit
Mm-hmm.
from maybe taking a look at some, and you know, you have so many things, you know, there's so many
Yeah,
things
no,
going on.
You ask a very fair question, Sherry,
Yeah.
and we are grappling with that at DLNR
Yeah.
as well. I mean, part of it is we seek general funds. Because
Yeah.
we, you know, we don't, it's not
Yeah.
like we're generating, but there are some, in the
Yeah.
case of like some of our resources, like state parks.
Yeah,
We have, you know, in some of those cases like Diamond Head, we're able to
Yeah.
generate revenue.
yeah,
But it is intended to sustain that state parks system.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but we're not in the business of making a profit, which,
Right.
but
Right.
you raise a good point about, we do have to start looking at greater opportunities to generate revenue,
okay,
but I'm always balancing that
Yes.
against,
yeah,
you know, we would have people from the mainland seeking use of all of our state lands if we were looking at
Yeah.
generating revenue versus how do we help out
right,
these land-based, INA-based
Mhm.
opportunities, right?
right.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
so I
so
think,
that's our
I don't think
balance.
we're disagreeing with
Okay,
that. We're
okay.
just saying, you know, this is a 20-year-old rule and maybe, you know,
General
might be,
policy.
might just be, I mean, excuse me, general policy, it might, you know, so
Yeah, no,
I'm just looking, that's all,
Yeah.
not
no,
saying
no, that's fair. You're
anything in
fair. That's fair.
particular,
Yeah.
okay?
And I believe the 480 was actually increased, but I will double check
All
with
right.
land division. Because I
Okay,
think it
see,
was
I
even
saw
less.
it in a recent.
Okay. And
That's
I
where
know
it
that
got from, 'cause
Sherry
I don't
reads
have time to
everything.
go back and read
You
everything.
cannot push anything over Sherry Broda. And I'm sure all of this is getting captured by the public.
And not only that, Not only that, they load the video.
I better make sure. Yes. the
You
right
better,
side, the
you
right
better,
side.
yeah, you better get it dressed.
No,
Well,
but I
Carolyn's good.
appreciate,
She
I
sets a good
appreciate that,
example.
Sherry.
Okay,
I mean, like I said,
yeah,
I'm always looking for a balance.
yeah,
So those people who are trying to get
yeah,
where we have highest and best use, I'm
Yeah.
gonna charge them.
yeah,
But those, so that we can
Yeah.
subsidize those who cannot otherwise afford it.
yeah. But
No, and
You know,
we've been,
just-
we've been to parks where you have nonprofits
Yeah.
stewarding it, and they're doing a wonderful
Oh,
job.
they are, they are.
And
Yeah.
that versus, let's say, somebody making a lot of money in
Right.
Kakaako Harbor,
yeah,
that's the comparison we're looking at.
I'm-
yeah,
No,
And that's the
Yeah.
concern that you have.
that's-
And
Yeah.
that's a
you're right,
good point
you're
that Don made
yes, it
about
is.
our, because a lot of the stewardship are our Hawaiian people,
Mhm,
Yeah.
because they know better.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And I think that, you've only been in the job 1 year. So I think it's very reasonable for you and us to look at actions that were taken in the past. It might not be, if it was EO'd by Governor Abercrombie, all those kakako developments were EO'd by, were approved by Abercrombie. That was his idea. So, that's already 20 years ago again. So, now it might be a good time, and with somebody who really cares like you, it might be a good time to take a look at some of these things and see how, DLNR can maximize the use of state lands. And by maximizing, I don't mean just money, right?
Right.
So I believe in what you said too, that we want to preserve and protect the lands of
Mhm.
Hawaii. But, let's be honest, over the years,
Yeah. And-
people come and they take advantage.
Yeah.
They
Well,
take
I-
advantage of
no.
what we have, and we give it away for free, I mean, we don't have
Yeah.
petroleum like they have in
Like
Texas.
Mauna Kea.
Like what we have, what we
That is a
have,
very good
what
point.
we have that everybody wants
Yeah.
is the beauty and the natural
Yeah.
environment of
But you just
Hawaii.
have to just remember our mission is a
Yeah.
little different. So,
Yeah.
so we are I am really trying very hard to do a lot more
Yes,
INA-based collaboration.
yeah,
So that we do have communities
Yes.
stewarding resources.
right,
But also like Haena, that
yeah,
has
Yes.
created an economic opportunity.
Mhm.
That community, by stewarding Haena, they've actually been able to generate jobs and income.
uh-huh,
And for me, that is a much more honorable
yeah,
Yeah.
practice and
accomplishment, yeah,
policy
that's
right.
than trying to,
wonderful.
for us
Yeah.
guys, to go and, so,
Yeah,
but they also malama that resource. So there are appropriate opportunities where we should be charging the best. I mean, these guys who
Yeah.
are along, they have beach homes.
yeah,
Their homes are, they're
Yeah.
using state lands to illegal seawalk. I'm gonna charge
Yeah.
them $1 million for a violation.
Yeah.
So those things, I'm very comfortable
yes,
where it is very appropriate, but where we're trying to get, people to help us
yes,
because we don't have the capacity, I have to create an incentive to
yeah,
have those partnerships.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, DLNR has the only mission that's really looking at, and most of our lands are not, we manage 1.3 million acres, but most of that is forest reserve. So we
Yeah.
don't have a lot of lands that
Yeah.
are what
Yeah.
you would consider revenue producing,
Mhm.
but where we
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
So like in, Hilo, where we have warehouses,
Yeah.
we are also trying to generate more revenue there.
let's say you're gonna charge for boats of whatever it was, $1 and then the new rules for
Oh, that's an ocean stewardship. That's by statute. We can only
Oh.
charge $1.
only charge
Yeah,
$1.
so that's,
Yeah.
but that
I
that
was
is the first
wondering
time that we
why.
can
Well,
do
the
that.
statute needs to be changed in the
Yeah.
near future.
Yeah. Well, maybe that would be a recommendation of the
Okay.
community.
Yeah.
Well, we just got that passed last year, so we're just, but,
All right.
and that's the
Okay.
other, you raise good points because as we've told the community,
Yeah,
where the community wants, you need to show up at the ledge, right?
absolutely.
We have, right,
No.
we have lobbyists who come in and they get their, they
Yeah.
promote their position. But communities who are
Yeah.
hardworking and taking care of the resources,
Mhm.
they don't have time. But I said, but they need to show up.
They have
The
to show up.
legislators really do pay attention
Right,
to who's
Yeah,
there.
they
So,
do.
right,
so that's part of our challenge too,
right,
is
of
getting
course,
people
of course.
to support a mission
Yeah,
that's really based upon others who are just working so hard, but
Yeah.
those who are reaping benefits. So I am trying very hard, like our commercial boating, to do,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
do exactly what you're suggesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
But maybe we
Working.
could, maybe there would be things that you could find.
Yeah.
That we, I mean, we could make a,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
could
yeah.
join together and
Okay,
have a bill to,
Okay.
do that.
I'd explore that with you. Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, forest reserves, are those in the PLTIS?
Oh, yes, all of them.
They are.
Oh, all of them are.
So
But
do
we don't
all of-
generate revenue. off
I
of
know,
those.
I know,
Yeah,
but,
But they're all on the
but our
PLTIS.
job is not
Yes,
just to identify revenue
Yes.
generate. Our job is
Yeah,
to get
right.
a-
So they are
inventory.
all on they are all on PLTS.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think it would be really good for for the community of the whole state, if at the end of all of this, we could come up with we could have an inventory that is,
I know.
because,
And we believe that
all
we
right,
do
the
have one.
PLTIS is good.
Yep.
Okay, it's very good. It's a big step up from what, we
You're
used
right.
to have and everything, but people believe that it's not complete.
So, I'm really struggling with the perception versus the reality. If you can tell me what lands do you believe we are not reporting on PLTS, we can verify that. If an auditor comes in and does a random sampling and they find a missing, I'm willing to say,
Yeah.
okay, let's, but
Let's
I
see
mean,
why.
yeah, but we
Yeah.
are, I would tell you, land division and the rest of the state, we're pretty comfortable that it is it's an accurate inventory of the public lands.
But
Okay.
maybe it's an accurate inventory of the DLNR public
No,
lands,
it's a-
but
No, it's
everybody else is self-reporting and we don't know what's what.
But no, that was a separate process. That was Act 54. The
Right,
PLTS, that contractor independently gathered information and verified all lands. It's the inventory that's self-reporting. We just accept whatever
Right.
agencies, but the
Yeah.
inventory, I mean,
oh, you mean the receipts
yeah,
are
the
self-reporting?
revenue,
I believe that your staff said that it was self-reporting.
no, the
PLTI.
inventory, the revenue is self-reported, not
But
the
not the
inventory.
Not,
The inventory was prepared by the consultants.
all right,
And they took all of the records, they did sort of like the,
yeah,
like what a title report would
Yeah.
do, or, so they put it, so that was the basis of the inventory. It's not self-reporting.
yeah,
Because
All right.
everybody relies upon, I shouldn't say everybody, but many people rely upon PLTIS
yeah,
to get information about particular TMK parcels.
Yeah.
So as far as I know, it is accurate. So I would.
is it complete?
It is, I mean, and obviously
Alright,
maybe
that's why I kept
self-serving for me
asking.
to say that.
But
It
that's
is
why I
complete.
kept asking you for like a final
So,
report or something like
Can I
that.
ask,
Yeah.
Stacy, you talked with, Zach.
You know what, I called him and he answered the phone and then he said he didn't feel good.
Oh,
So then, and he said, can you call back tomorrow? So I called back the next day, but he didn't answer. Then I called one more day. And, because he's so sick, I didn't want to bother him further, but I did track down, there's somebody at OHA.
well, that's what I was gonna ask Stacy. if
Yes,
She has, Zach's, records of the inventories that he did complete for
yeah,
Kauai and Molokai.
Oh,
yeah.
that are different from the one that we.
No,
Well,
we don't know, but
We don't
that's a
know.
good comparison.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
let's
Because he
do
worked
that.
really
Okay.
hard
Oh,
years on those
okay,
two
okay,
islands.
okay,
yeah,
He was gonna move to the next
Yeah.
island. He
Okay.
got cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So he's
Okay.
stage 4 and he's not
Oh,
working.
okay.
so I
He's-
believe
don't wanna
his
burden
thing
him.
was called the Kipuka database.
Oh,
So
that's-
who is that? And
That's
Stacy-
Hannes.
Maybe
right?
Stacy, maybe you and
Yes.
I, and then I don't
Okay.
know when our
Yeah.
next meeting is gonna be, but between now and the next meeting,
So
you
there's
would,
a
you and I could meet with that
Cover.
person, so I can,
reconciliation. We just
Yeah.
reconcile
Yeah,
the
yeah,
two,
yeah.
records.
Yeah.
well, I don't know about if that's
So we take-
possible.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
Let's
know.
say that as an example, we
But
take
let's just
Kauai.
start
We
with
take
Yeah.
his Kauai
Yeah.
that, okay,
and we see if
Right.
it jives.
I think that
you
may
know?
be a way to facilitate I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how successful we'll be. at the
Yeah, but
legislature.
that would be,
Yeah,
we could do our
yeah.
own,
Or we could bring on a third party person.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to
Alright.
gather information, just
Just
as you say, reconcile the
reconcile the
two.
two data
Yeah.
sets.
And if we, and if PLTS doesn't jive with what Zach has,
yeah,
then maybe we do have to really take that
Right.
next step. So
I think
Okay.
that would be
open
a
to
good check,
Yeah,
since he
right.
said that those two islands are thorough.
Okay,
You know, if we can
Yeah.
reconcile it,
right, right.
and then that would be a
Yeah,
good
no,
example.
I think that
and
would
we-
be a good way,
right?
yes.
okay,
So,
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
also, we had a meeting with the speaker the other day,
yes,
Okay.
and I mentioned that we needed money for the
Okay, well,
inventory.
okay,
Yeah.
what did he say?
No, he listened.
Okay, that's
Um,
good.
The legislature money is tight this year, we know, everybody knows. I mean, you heard it
Yeah.
done with the governor yesterday,
Yeah, yeah.
but, I don't know how much it
Okay,
would cost
Okay,
to,
okay,
to get somebody to, do the work, but maybe we can estimate.
Mhm.
And, would it be a good idea to try to get a bill in this year?
It wouldn't hurt. I mean, I
The
think,
24th is the deadline.
okay, well, actually I drafted a bill for us to look at today.
Is it
It's- so-
involving money?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, you
great.
want to skip to the end? I already talked,
Oh, okay.
Stacy already told me I asked too much, so I cut it down.
See, Louis, you can appreciate that. I said too much. You asked me for
No,
too
she
much.
Okay,
Well, then
but
we gotta be
she
reasonable.
goes, how did you come to this? I was like, well. do I have to explain it? No, I used the figures from the work done in 2016
16.
and the
Mhm.
DLNR.
NK.
Yeah, NNK and the DLNR, they've hired
Art
from
contract.
Onyx, so I use that. But here's the bill, a proposed bill. Maybe she has for testimony on that one. It's the last
Oh, thank
item
you
on
very
the
much.
agenda.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
Since we're
Can-
talking about it, we'll-
All
Can I
right,
take
okay.
something out of order, Chair? Maybe Lonnie is not, is she not
Sherry,
gonna
do you
sit
have
on
one
the
more copy?
committee?
just need to spend the time and do that.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, you,
So we're gonna. put I mean, not board, but our
It's
administration.
page
What is
9,
it?
9 and 10
is
is.
that the?
no, it's
Okay.
different
Oh,
because I added
page
more
you made it?
stuff. I tried to
Okay.
explain it better.
What is
Since-
Everett's title?
Everett is interim general
Oh,
counsel.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
I'm
he's got
I'm
great
sharing
history.
with, with-
The third OHA position on our board since Mililani.
I'll give you a
Yes.
brief review of what I did. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
so we're thinking of moving Everett.
Okay,
In place of me.
okay. Okay, that would be good.
But he's on vacation right now, so Stacy needs to talk to him.
Okay.
Okay,
Do you want to walk us through?
All right, so section 1, I tried to do again what I did in the letter that we wrote, which is be just very kind of black and white. So
Mhm.
I say what our job is in Act 226, explain what our job is. And then I copied some of this, I just copied right out of the existing legislation purpose clauses. All right, then on page 5, I talk about Act 178, then Act 15. So 178 was the law that set up the reporting that DLNR is still doing to the legislature every year on the revenues. And Act 15 is and Act 54 was the PLTIS. Okay, so that takes us all the way to 7. So just so that there's a history of what we're doing and why we're doing it,
Mhm.
and where the information that we're using comes from these different statutes, the requirements, the state agency statute. Okay, then section 2 is our group, what we're supposed to be doing. That's page 7. Okay, then I make findings for us to justify the request at the end for. Why don't we skip to the end so you can see how much I asked for, and then you can look at what it's just a recommendation. Okay, okay, so section 3 is what I asked for.
What
Okay.
page?
On page 11,
Okay.
I asked for 500,000. Okay, the reason I asked for that is the PLTIS plus the 2016 financial review expended $495,786 to do their 2 jobs. So I added those 2 together. I had originally asked for $750 to take into account inflation since it's already, almost 10 years later, but Stacy immediately challenged me on it. So
I want to give it the highest possibility of
right.
moving.
Yeah, so, hey, I believed exactly what you said, and I brought it down to 500. Because I thought that's, the numbers are there, that's what it cost last time to do it, and actually, as I think about it some more, based on what Dawn's just said, and when we're talking about checking on the PLTIS, 500 is probably very reasonable, and maybe we can even come down after we see how those 2 inventories
Yeah.
match up.
Mhm.
So then I had us in section 2 find things. So I explained that we requested in writing the letter that we sent out. So here I brought, I think
Did you get responses?
we just sent it out.
Oh,
By the
okay,
time
sent it
we
out.
got
Yeah.
the letterhead
Oh,
set
okay,
up and
okay.
the list of everybody and everything. So, but here's the letter that did go out.
Okay,
So it
thank
didn't
you.
go out till December 22nd, but
Okay,
for you guys to look at and,
okay.
maybe, here's Stacy's, the
Oh,
letter we
mahalo.
sent out. Here,
Okay.
Chair, here's the letter you sent out. And here's
Do we have an identification of who's on the working group?
Right there on the letterhead.
On the letter, okay, very
See?
good, very good, very good.
We're there.
okay.
We put them in alphabetical order,
okay,
so it's
fair enough.
nothing personal.
Okay, no, that's good, that's good. That's the
Okay.
best way.
Right.
Okay, 'cause,
Yeah.
okay,
All right. See, I was worried. I wanted to add, people's position stuff, but
yeah,
then
no.
it looked too,
Yeah.
it already looks a little funky. So I thought, let's just keep it simple. Okay. So this was the letter that we approved. Okay, so specifically what we approved. And we have to thank Amber for getting this out, and listening to me back and forth on the letterhead. But I wanted to make sure that our representations were accurate. And the way it appeared is the way that it is. Okay, so the letter went out, so I described that on page 7, and we sent out the letter and what we asked for, and then. Okay, so then on page 8, I made some findings that you probably want to take a good look
Yeah.
at, and maybe for the next
Yeah.
meeting, or
Okay.
before that, you can send me any comments.
So
that you have.
where did, because I'm looking at.
Page
nine.
8, so
Yeah,
at
so
the
page
top.
eight,
Findings.
Yeah, and I.
Yeah.
because, I
This
mean,
is where
these
the
are
first time we find anything,
So
Yeah.
where did you get the information to come up with these findings?
our meetings.
Okay, but this one,
Which
so,
one?
so did it, the implementation of informal stating, so this whole paragraph, is this coming from a particular document?
Okay, are you looking at page
I'm looking
9?
at page
Yeah.
9, the top of
Alright.
page 9.
Okay,
Because those
that
things,
does come from,
Yeah.
that comes from the deal in our website, super copy.
from the deal on our website.
Okay, on the description of Act 54 and what you did,
Okay,
okay?
Okay.
All right. So I just copied it,
Okay.
it's verbatim. I may have changed the tense,
okay.
all right, from is to was,
So-
or
so-
done, for due to done, or something like that, but other than that, it's
yeah, I just want,
exactly,
so I'll have
Yeah.
our land, because I
Yeah.
just want to make any
Yeah.
findings that we're
Yeah.
attesting to.
Absolutely.
Are accurate, yes.
that's why
Yeah, thank
and
you.
you agree with, that we
Yes,
did
yes, yes,
find it,
yes,
okay?
Yes,
And that's why I'm drawing your specific attention to page 8.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, we found the last one. I asked for this, okay, so anyway, so why don't you do this? Consult with your staffs
Yeah.
and everything every time I use the word found, make
Yep.
sure that you agree, okay?
I guess I'm just, are we finding, or is that a fact? Because
All
Yeah,
right.
this is, it sounds a little bit more like a,
Lawyer, yeah.
yeah, so I'll let the.
Yeah,
lawyers
no,
and
so
them
that's,
talk.
that's my concern.
Yeah, okay,
It's
yeah.
like a finding is something that we And I didn't, I mean, I know I haven't gone through, I went through the NK, but that's what I'm a little concerned about, is if it's a fact, it's a fact.
Okay, well, this is a fact. The last financial review
Yes.
was conducted in
Yeah, so
2016.
Yes.
I'm better with the fact versus we're finding, because the findings,
Okay,
I
so how
like,
do you
we
want to say?
independently, oh, so, you know, I would just.
Well, okay,
the
all right,
last-
the reason I wanted to do it the way I did is we're supposed to make some kind of report to the legislature. So I wanted to, why don't we say the PLT working group reports instead of fines?
Okay, I'm good
reports.
with that. I'm
All
good
right,
with that.
reports.
Yeah, reports.
All
Yeah,
right.
finding makes me.
Finding
Okay.
is almost like there's
Yeah, 'cause you're
you're
gonna-
expecting a recommendation
Yeah,
afterwards.
you're gonna
We
have a
found
conclusion
this,
after
Yeah.
that.
We do have a
therefore,
recommendation.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know I
Okay.
didn't find this.
Yes, it's $500,000.
Yeah.
That's the recommendation.
Exactly, exactly. That's exactly right. Okay, all
Okay,
right.
yeah, I know, and
All
I
right.
appreciate all the work, Sherry. You obviously
it's
put a lot
okay.
of work inside
Ah,
this. Thank
it's
you very
okay.
much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, give a
It's a
weird job.
one of the
it can't
longest
be 2
preambles I've
pages.
read in a bill in a long time, but yes, it's really good.
You can just say,
Great reminder.
you can have that as the last finding. Sherry Berta writes too much.
She's just a
Okay.
very good lawyer.
All right, okay,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
So there's more founds, all
Okay, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
you check them all and you
Okay.
tell
We
me
will.
which ones you just,
We can
take
hold on
some
to this,
time on
okay.
it. Don't,
Okay, yeah,
don't
yeah,
stone
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
We do
okay.
have a 24 deadline, January 24th.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
For bill submission. yeah.
Yes.
Bill submission, right, so we want to get this done as soon
so
as
if
possible.
you, yeah,
So maybe we need to
by
meet
next
again
week,
soon.
or
Yeah.
can we just submit our comments and you can incorporate?
I
that?
don't want to be in the position of making final decisions. I
Okay,
want the
okay,
group
okay.
to
The
decide.
working group.
right?
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't
okay.
want to be,
Maybe can we do it by Zoom?
Yeah.
yeah, we can
Yeah.
meet by
That
Zoom.
might be easier
Yeah.
for me
Why
next
don't we
week
do that?
especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to drive around.
Well, the
or
thing
anything.
is, if you can make those comments,
Yes.
submit it to Sherry. Sherry put it in final, sends it out to all of us.
Mhm.
And then
we
we
just-
meet.
And we meet, yeah.
We may
Okay.
end up having to do, Ryan's not here, but he would remind us about sunshine law.
No, we're gonna meet.
No, but even
Oh,
ahead of time.
Oh.
So we may have to send everything to
Send
Amber,
it, well, she'll,
and then
Uh,
Amber will
yeah.
distribute to all of us.
okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, so
All right, so
Who would be-
anyways, I
oh,
think,
Colin,
I'm
who would
sorry.
be introducing the bill. You'll talk about that at the next meeting.
No, we can talk about that right now,
Okay.
because I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I think you see, I mean, I bring up some specific issues. One is the 50% rules. We don't know how that really ends up affecting OHA's revenues one way or the other, and if
Mhm.
it's just fair or okay. So we need somebody to look into that. So I thought the consultant could do that, because I know your staff's way too busy to look into that,
Mhm.
okay? And then we want an independent third party, so that when we're done and we say the inventory's done, it's done, okay? And it won't come up again. I mean, we were assigned, I mean, the legislature believes enough that we got that
Mhm.
assignment
Mhm.
to make sure the inventory is accurate and complete.
If this group could come out and make
Right.
the call that we believe this is the inventory, that's
Yeah,
a huge,
right.
that's a huge step.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right, I
that
think that
really
would
is a
be good.
huge step.
Right.
I think that would
Yeah.
be,
Amazing.
yeah, I think it would be really good.
Yeah.
I think it would
Yeah,
really
and
be
then
good.
from here forward, we work on this.
Oh, just the
Yes.
revenue, so we don't
Is
have
it-
to work in the
Yeah, then you
inventory
work on the
anymore.
revenue.
Okay, so we're gonna, all right, so anyways, okay, you get the idea, okay?
Is there
I say on page 11, the working group has determined after exhaustive research that it needs the services of a third-party independent consultant with the necessary financial accounting, land inventory expertise to complete its assignment. Okay. And then there's the paragraph, which is the two, I say within the text earlier on exactly how much DLNR spent.
Yeah.
And exactly how much OHA spent.
Mhm.
So I added them together and that's what I came up with. But it's also in the bill. The finer details are in the bill.
So this bill is for monies for another audit, but not for an inventory.
It's for both. It's not
Yeah.
for another inventory. You're right.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily an audit, but it's definitely independent third-party appraisal of what we have.
Mhm.
So like the
Yeah, what we
NK
have.
report is a financial review. It's not an audit.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they audit land inventory, so it'd be a financial review or inventory review. I just don't know what it's
Yeah.
called. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but basically what you're saying is
You're just
correct.
trying to determine the, well, for the inventory, the accuracy and the completeness of the,
Right,
so, and then the inventory, and then.
for both of them. That's our job.
but
Act two
you-
26 says we're supposed to determine an accurate
Accurate
and complete reporting or inventory or whatever. Okay.
It just says account for all ceded lands in the public trust, account for all income proceeds derived from the public trust. I don't know,
Let's look at section 2 because that's
So is the
says,
public land trust the same as the ceded lands?
okay.
I think it is. I think that's how we're defining it. Do we need
It's
definition?
almost the same. It's slightly different. I can bring you a graph to the next meeting to show you. Okay. There, it's almost identical, but it's not 100%.
I know it isn't.
Okay. all right. Fine.
But I
But
wanna know
our
why
job
and
is,
what.
our job assignment is account for all ceded lands in the public land trust.
That's why I asked.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
There must be more ceded lands than there is in the public land
Yes,
trust.
absolutely.
Okay,
Yes. because
Okay,
that would include all the
alright.
federal land.
Yes,
that was ceded.
yes.
Okay,
that
so
aren't
that's,
included in the public land.
That's the
That's
different
the big-
categories.
Yeah, that's
right?
the 5F, 5B.
all right.
Yeah.
Right.
So Sherry?
Yes.
So one, who's going to introduce the bill? And then I'd also like to have discussion for you folks about a governor's message, if that's an option as well. So we have two.
You mean like an actual budget ask?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I guess going back to the provisions of the working group's creation, the working group's creation was created under OHA, right?
Well,
no, under the
administrative.
governor.
Yeah, the
is
administrative,
it-
yeah.
Yeah, but the
Okay,
governor
sorry.
appointed you, so I
Yeah.
would say, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the governor's directly involved because
Yeah.
3 of you are appointed by the
Mhm. Yeah.
governor.
That's why I reported it out in the governor's.
Yeah.
The meeting,
yesterday,
yeah. in
I
the-
see.
Because I wanted
Yeah.
him to know we've had 6 meetings.
Yeah,
Actually, 5 today is number
Yeah.
6.
Today's number 6, yeah.
We've
So
had
yeah,
them
I mean,
diligent.
however, I mean,
it-
the
yeah.
bill needs to be
Yeah.
introduced. I think we
Yeah.
know that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of,
Right.
because again, I apologize if I don't know the answer. Like OHA doesn't have their own bill introduction period or
We-
package.
We
Or
do.
you could, you
yeah.
do, okay, that you
Yeah.
guys can actually do it
Yeah.
also, right? So
Well,
who
I
wants
think
to
it
do
should
it?
be a joint thing
Yeah.
to
Oh,
make
yeah.
it
Yeah.
stronger.
Okay.
yeah,
Sure. I
And,
think,
Yeah, I think that
and
would be really
maybe
good.
under the governor's name.
that would be
because
really
he-
good if he
You know,
would.
he implemented the bill
yeah,
by telling us, you name your 3 and I have my 3.
Mhm.
You know, and we're a working group now complying with that act.
yeah.
Maybe we can discuss that with the governor's.
Yeah, we'll
office.
discuss
mean,
it with the
I-
governor. I mean,
Yeah.
like, we don't want to step on your,
Yeah, yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
if
'cause I
you
mean,
wanted
yeah.
to,
No,
if
step.
OHA wanted
If the
to.
governor
if we-
wants to
Yeah.
Well, we need the
participate.
strength of the governor.
Yeah.
behind
Okay.
us.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I think he'd appreciate that, but I
Well,
don't know.
let's
Yeah.
let's just leave it at this right now
Yeah.
because I think it would, out of respect for the governor, I would ask that you float the idea with him. and
Yeah,
Sure.
because
he come
he
back
may
to it,
not
but I
want to
don't
be
want to.
interfering with the working
Alright.
group.
Yeah.
And by.
I don't want to
Yeah.
create a difficult
right, right, right.
situation for
Yeah.
him
Same
by.
here.
Okay, so I'd
Okay.
rather know what he wants to do in advance of.
Okay.
Mhm.
trying
We
to-
can,
Yeah,
Don and
yeah,
I can
yeah.
have that
Yeah.
conversation. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so-
And so then would we try to get somebody like the speaker and or the president of the Senate to introduce the bill?
Oh, well, if it goes under the governor's
Yeah.
package, he can introduce directly. He
I
doesn't
see.
need,
He doesn't need anybody else. Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
And the GM would be another opportunity.
would be another opportunity.
all right.
Well, you would have two vehicles, right? You would
Correct.
have a bill and a budget request if that were the
Okay.
case. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So maybe, yeah, okay,
So we'll try
That's
to
good.
meet
Yeah.
with the governor
right.
before we
Okay.
reconvene again.
all right.
So at least we'll provide you some
All right.
guidance from him.
Yeah.
And then.
Again, January 24th.
yeah,
Okay,
that
so
is a
when
good-
should we meet
Okay, yeah, we're
again?
being pressured by chair right now.
Yeah.
I will,
And-
I'm
well,
already
I-
writing
no, I-
down, tell
no, no, no,
Rachel,
and I
schedule a
appreciate
meeting
that.
with
I
Don and
appreciate
me
you.
with the
Well, we
gov.
want, Stacy and I want to meet with the people at OHA who are in charge of the Kipuka. There's 2 databases. Can't remember the name of the other one. But maybe
Callahan's.
I know, here we go again. Can we talk to somebody at DLNR?
regarding,
Well, if we find out anything where, or do you think we can just do it on our own, Stacy, without involving, you know what? Stacy and I will do the first step and then we'll contact
'Cause
you if we
is-
need
is-
help
because
All right.
what you're trying, are you gonna try to reconcile?
a little
The
bit.
co-op-
I mean, that's kind
That's,
of,
that might be,
Impossible.
yeah, there, I mean, do you have the expertise? You are expert in everything,
no,
Cheryl.
I'm not.
But,
No, I'm not.
but having, it might be, having someone independent
Yeah,
from us.
well, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I think that's what we need. I
Right.
think if we're gonna come to a conclusion
Mhm.
that the inventory is complete and accurate, except for all the submerged lands or something like that,
Mhm.
we need, it can't come from us.
Right.
It has to be an outside third-party person.
But I thought we were gonna do kind of step one, trying to reconcile Zach's Kauai list.
Right,
with
that's what I'm
PLTIS.
talking
But
about.
that can happen independently of.
Well, I
of
don't
this
know.
particular-
If I'm quite capable of reconciling it without,
Oh, without the
professional.
professional doing.
so
the
what we'll do is Stacy and I will research that. Okay, and then maybe, I'm just thinking, maybe we would be able to make more progress if we could also talk
Mhm.
with DLNR folks, but
Yeah.
we'll leave that for now, and if we
Okay,
need
okay,
that kind of
okay.
help, we'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
okay, so,
because was someone working with Zach? Because it probably would be helpful to have more of that technical expertise,
I
a
don't,
DLNR and a OHA technical.
right,
expertise.
probably would
Yeah.
make
Mm.
more sense,
Okay.
yeah,
Zach was a
exactly.
lone worker.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so we don't, we're
So
gonna
we
have
don't
to,
have anybody on staff now
Oh, to fill.
There's-
in.
that did what he
Mm.
did,
Okay.
you know?
Well, and I think that's what
yeah,
we could bring in, that expertise
Mhm.
to do that. Take
Yeah.
a look at what Zach did.
Yeah.
Take a look at what's in Pete. Actually, that's I think that's the precursor for
Yeah,
the
to me,
scope
that-
of
yes,
work
that's what I
that we
think
would
so.
actually
Right.
Yeah.
want the
I mean,
the third party
Yeah.
yeah,
to do.
Yeah.
because what if we reconciled and there's no, and it's accurate?
good,
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
That's
Me
that
too, me
con-
too.
confirmation
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah,
just
yeah.
as
I'd be
good
very
as
happy.
yeah.
Then we can focus just on revenue.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
on money
yeah,
that,
yeah.
that.
Right,
OHA's
okay, then
owes.
I would say under revenue falls the 50% issue, like how, I just would like somebody to look at that and determine if it's to OHA's detriment or to the state's detriment.
I think it's, well, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think it's just, land division looks at as hopefully as a balance.
Right,
Sometimes you get the 50%, sometimes you don't, but I
Right.
think my recollection was there were only two parcels that were like that.
okay.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
to
why
know.
don't
That's
you-
what Mahoy said. There was
Can
only
you
two.
tell us the two
Okay,
parcels that are
I'll
like
check,
that?
I'll
Because
check.
that,
Yeah.
that makes it to the Native Hawaiian treatise,
Okay.
that 50% rule, and it's criticized. Melody's book,
Oh, was
yeah,
that right?
yeah, so that's where I got it from.
My
Yeah.
apologies,
And then
'cause
I
I don't
felt-
want to assume anything, and I have so many other concepts that are running through my head. This 50%.
This is like, so if there's a parcel of land, portions are seeded, portions are not. So
Got it.
the land division says, okay, they use it, whichever has more than 50%, if it's more than 50% seeded, they treat it all as seeded.
Got
If it's less, because it's very difficult to.
Make that
yeah,
delineation.
right, exactly,
Gotcha.
yeah. So,
Got it.
So there are some parcels where we have some land, but we don't get anything,
Got it.
and vice versa.
Right,
We
right,
we
right.
get it all.
but I'll check with Mahoy. My recollection was he said there was only two parcels
All
that
right,
he was aware. But
All right.
again, I don't know whether he did a comprehensive review of
right.
everything, but that was what my.
all right,
Just
well,
an
maybe you
estimate.
can ask him that too, so just so we know if that's a complete answer or not.
But it was also Melanie's treatise. I didn't
It's
know
in the
that. Okay,
treatise, yeah,
Well, that would
they are
be-
revising it, but
yeah,
That would be a big thing if that's a fact.
Yeah.
Only two lots,
Yeah.
I mean, only two tax.
right,
maps.
that would be
Yeah,
a big thing,
yeah,
That's
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
yeah,
mhm.
so I mean,
But
I
if you're
think,
talking 100, oh, let's
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah, no, and that-
Then it
right,
becomes an
that-
issue.
That is
Right.
fair, that
Yeah.
is fair, yeah,
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 yeah, I,
yeah. No,
okay, that
you're
would be
right.
good,
Fact versus fiction, okay.
yeah. Well, I think we kind of need just to do a little bit more work so that we can get to the point where we can finish the bill.
Yeah.
So
So
when
we
should
have
we
a-
meet again? Jen?
Yeah, I was looking,
Well, when is the 24th?
look backwards from.
How long
there.
do you think we need, Stacy? to-
I'm gonna go look into it today. and
Okay.
I can get back to you on
I saw,
access and
Okay.
who can assist us and. all that.
okay, okay, I found some procurement requests relating to this, which is, and somebody's there's somebody at OHA.
Okay, we can talk more about that.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, all right, yeah,
She's staying a little bit after this meeting.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
The 24th is a Tuesday. How long would it take after approval to prepare the bill for submission?
Well, how long would it take
Seems
after
pretty
approval to
close.
get the government to approve it?
Well,
This
we'll try to
budget.
Yeah.
talk to the governor before we meet
Yeah.
next, whether he's going to be the introducer, you know,
All
do
right.
it as a GM.
Yeah.
If he chooses to just leave it to the
Mhm.
committee, we'll let you know.
All right,
So.
Yeah.
we
let's
should
do
that.
this. How about if we plan to meet next week?
Yeah,
You know, just
Mhm.
so we have a cushion of time in case.
but in the meantime,
Something
we'll
else
look at
comes
the
up.
draft and
Yeah.
provide, just to
Right.
facilitate when we do meet.
Yeah.
And I apologize, the only day that I could meet is Wednesday.
Okay,
Actually, that makes, I have my standing meeting with the governor on Tuesday, the
Oh,
9th at
okay,
10. So
okay,
we,
okay.
so,
Okay,
so,
yeah, we can meet maybe ahead of time.
Don't
Yeah.
we
I
have
did-
a
well, let's meet
meeting
with the gov
governor?
at that time.
Do we have a meeting with the governor?
9 AM cabinet meeting.
Oh, that's our
On-
cabinet. Is
On
that,
which,
oh,
wait, which,
is that your
on,
cabinet?
no, this is my standing meeting with the
Okay,
gov.
okay. I don't have a
Um,
standing meeting with the governor. Lewis is
I-
very
I know, I know.
special. He is
No.
special. He's
This
special.
came to me from Erin,
Oh,
Yeah, is that on Tuesday the 9th? No,
Tuesday 17.
oh, the
I
17th.
mean,
Oh, the-
Wednesday 17.
Oh, okay, this is
Oh.
Tuesday the 9th. So next week,
Oh,
if we,
okay,
we'll just go
okay.
ahead and meet with the gov next week.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
use
yeah.
this
Okay,
time
okay,
to talk
okay.
to him about
Yes,
this
yes, yes.
particular issue.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
I
And
don't
then
know.
that way we can get this out of the way and have the
Yeah,
conversation with the
that's
governor.
on
All right.
Wednesday, the 10th.
So
I-
you want to meet with us on the 10th?
No, we're
Just
we're
making
gonna,
sure about
the
sunshine,
gov-
yeah.
when
We'll
is
meet
we-
with the gov
And
on
the filing
Tuesday the
deadlines.
9th.
We just wanna
Tuesday
make
the
sure we
9th.
have
Okay.
time.
We'll,
we
we'll
can
bring,
meet
we'll
it-
definitely bring
right.
up this issue.
Okay,
right,
okay.
thank you.
We just want to make sure that whatever date we're selecting.
Are you
that we're
available on,
following
are you
sunshine law
available on Tuesday the
deadlines.
9th at
Yeah,
around,
we'll
at 10
just
o'clock?
do,
Yeah,
Yeah, we are,
Okay.
yeah.
because today is Wednesday.
I am.
Okay.
Maybe it might be a little bit later.
Because
Let me
actually,
double
the good
check.
thing is Ann is in that meeting.
Today's Thursday.
Oh,
So it's me
okay,
and Ann.
okay,
It's
okay,
me and
okay,
Ann.
okay.
We
Okay.
have, we
you
have to
Yeah,
attend
yeah,
those
yeah,
today.
okay.
Actually, then
Wednesday.
we have all three of us.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
That would
we
be,
can do, we can do it,
okay.
Chair.
Okay. That would-
Okay, so what,
So
when do we
Is
have?
it
when do we-
Wednesday?
So can we meet on Wednesday? Because
Yeah.
we're
Alright.
trying to
Wednesday.
meet
You
on
tell me what
Wednesday.
time.
Can we meet sometime like after 10? I have my WAM briefing is on the 10th, so.
Oh, he
10
can
to-
keep you all morning.
Oh.
Do you want to
Hey,
meet at
You are
lunchtime?
surprised.
A-
He's given us
actually,
a
lunch
90
would-
minutes.
Would be
Lunch
good?
would
That means
work.
nothing.
12:30
He
on the
canceled
10th would
ours,
be
All right,
good
I
for me.
know, we're
can we
so
meet
grateful.
12:30 on the
Because you
10th?
got steak
for
for
lunch,
real?
We did, we're so
Yeah,
grateful.
Okay,
Let's meet
my
at 12:30.
okay.
No, I apologize. My
Why?
WAM briefing is at 1 o'clock.
Oh,
I am going to,
no, no,
Yeah.
you need to.
I'm gonna be
well,
praying for the
I-
the
All right,
hour
but how
before.
about Thursday?
What, Louis, you got?
Okay.
Well,
Because she
I
needs
have
all
to-
day Wednesday to work on
House
her
Finance
WAM
wants
briefing.
me at the DOE
Okay,
budget briefing in
Oh.
the afternoon,
and which
Ooh.
day? Thursday?
the 10th.
All right, so now
So
we're on
in
to
the
the 11th.
afternoon.
Oh, 11th, I'm good. Well,
11th,
11th, I'm
Thursday.
good in the, the
How about
Thursday,
next
the
week,
11th.
Thursday?
That's the 11th, right?
I had,
How about
if we
What?
meet really
what?
late.
Early or
in-
late?
No, late, very late.
I can meet anytime.
Okay,
It's good for you.
I'm tied up until like about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Wow.
Can we do that?
This-
What's
what-
your
what-
schedule look like, Chair?
We can meet by Zoom if you don't want to
Yeah,
come over.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
I have a window between 3 and 4.
On
On the
Thursday.
11th.
So that
On
falls
Thursday, the
Okay.
11th.
within people's
Brilliant.
timing.
Yeah.
Who
So
am I meeting with
what,
legislators?
you want to meet 4 o'clock? That late?
No, no, he can meet at
Actually,
3.
no, actually 4 o'clock would be better.
Yeah,
All right.
4
I-
o'clock
I-
is good
yeah,
for me.
4 o'clock would
is
be
good
good.
with me.
That's what it sounded like from.
Yeah,
both
yeah,
of
yeah.
you.
All right.
Tuesday, Gov, and then Thursday.
That's the 11th?
The
the
11th.
11th.
And we'll meet by Zoom,
Yeah, let's meet by Zoom. I
okay?
think that would be helpful.
Is that
Okay.
gonna be,
That would be
Amber, are you
helpful.
gonna be able to, if we meet by Zoom, are you gonna be able to put the documents up and all of that?
Well, do we have enough time to meet, Sunshine?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
We do.
Okay, okay.
As long as you guys, today, that would be next week Thursday, so we have till tomorrow. So
Yes.
Oh, okay,
so as long
okay.
as you guys get me the agenda and I can
I
go
think the
through.
agenda will be the
Just
same
this
as today.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And that gives us, I like that because then we can bring up the other issues that are addressed, that might be addressed in, but the main purpose, of course, will be to discuss the
Yeah.
legislation. Is
The
that
bill.
okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I need to move something around, but I can move, I can move something around.
So
And
4
actually,
o'clock.
Next week,
Yeah.
Thursday, but by Zoom
Zoom.
because
By
of
Zoom, yeah.
everybody's
Yeah,
schedule.
yeah, that would work.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, that would be good. Okay.
okay.
And then we
That's
can go over the bill
Yep, yep, yep.
and
Okay.
give it a yay or nay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll know what the governor's
Yeah.
position is.
Right.
And I mean, I've read the bill. I'm okay. I think that maybe there's some
Yeah,
language with
yeah,
regards to
yeah,
find,
yeah.
found versus
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fact.
Report.
Yeah.
stuff, Yeah,
Whatever John wants to do on that.
context wise.
Everything else don't change, but that, okay.
I love
Okay.
Sherry Broder. I love Sherry
No,
Broder.
I love you, John.
She's so thorough.
Oh, yeah. And thank goodness for that, for us, because she's willing to do a lot of the work.
Yes,
you know.
yeah,
So thank you so
absolutely.
much. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
appreciate
Well,
it.
it's my privilege.
Yeah,
really,
we
and
appreciate it.
You know, when I had our first meeting when we met and I looked at the people I meet and greet, I just felt like, I feel like there's
Hopeful.
a chance.
There's a,
Yeah,
you got,
I
there.
did.
no,
Yeah, so I think it's been really good.
Yeah, no, I too, I have appreciated
Yeah,
the
yeah,
unknown, which everybody's come, that spirit of really
Mhm.
yeah.
collaboration, but had really good heart.
Do we have
Conversations.
anything else on our agenda? Oh, we got lots.
But we may not be able, can we do the rest of the agenda or? a lot
Well,
of
we
it was
took,
scheduled?
we took 6 already. We did the bill. We
Yeah.
did the, with discussion on the PLTIS.
Yeah.
Oh, the discussion, the request to the county. So
Oh,
that went out.
The,
right?
no,
No,
to
oh, to
state
the-
and feds.
Yeah.
To the
We
state went
didn't
out.
only to the
Only
state.
to
Only
the
to
state.
We
yeah.
didn't do anything to follow
Right.
up on the counties and the feds. So
Yeah.
why don't we, I think I concentrated all my effort on
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to get
yeah.
the
me
bill
too, yeah,
drafted.
yeah.
So maybe by the next meeting, I mean,
Yeah.
are we gonna do that? Why not do it?
'Cause
Yeah.
I guess the way it was, when I look at Act 178,
Yeah.
it only talks about the state.
Right, so that's
Yeah,
for
yeah,
revenues,
Right.
but I think we should ask about the inventory and the revenues. I mean, it's not, they can just say no. What do you think? All right, so I
Let's
think
just
this,
think about
we
it.
gotta have more of a discussion because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing is,
don't
I
wanna
mean,
have-
the feds can just say, we don't have to do anything the US can
Yeah.
do, right?
So what have we cleared today so that I can take it off the agenda when we
Oh, okay.
do next week's agenda?
I think we should leave the agenda
Oh,
as
we'll
is,
finish the
just in
minutes.
case,
Yeah, we finished the minutes.
but in case anything else comes up
Yeah.
between now and then, and Don's
Yeah,
gonna
you
answer
review the
some
minutes for
questions
this.
about the
Yeah.
LNR and the inventory and everything, so just so it's on the agenda,
Yeah.
in case we need to talk about it.
And at
So I
least,
think we
yeah,
can just do exactly the same agenda.
Okay.
Let's
so
work,
the
let's
minutes.
work for everybody.
So have we
Yeah.
covered so far what we can cover today?
I think
Yes.
so.
I believe
think
so, yeah.
I
Yes.
think so.
Yes,
No thing, yeah.
and we
was the
didn't have any
request.
testifiers, did we, Amber?
No testifiers.
No testifiers,
Who's,
okay, so
who's the testimony? Is that?
that's just the
Oh, it's just-
open
it's a-
portal.
Okay,
case, yeah.
okay. Just.
They're in
oh,
another room,
Yeah,
right?
oh, okay,
Right
okay,
in our offices,
okay.
Okay.
if there was one.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, members,
good.
can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So
So
moved.
move, second.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. I always appreciate the hospitality.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you.
Mohammed.
Yeah, thank you so much. And good to see you.
You guys are all in agreement to adjourn, right?
Oh,
Yes,
yes, yes,
yes.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes,
sorry,
unanimous.
yes.
Okay, here, John, take a couple of these. You
Oh,
gotta
I
get
will,
them
I
go
will,
yellow though.
Yep.
All right.
Let them go yellow
Yeah.
first.
Let them go yellow.
I was
first.
gonna eat them on my way
Okay.
back. already.
It's gonna be very
Jerry
sour.
wants-
It's gonna be very sour.
I know. I haven't had
Stacy,
star fruit in like
Take them back to
forever.
your
I
office.
know.